Hi everyone, I'm so excited for today's video. Right now I'm sitting in my house and I can already tell I feel so much less stressed about the holidays coming. I hope this video gives you guys motivation to tackle some messes in your own home before the holidays, and I'm really thankful that you guys are here watching today. I do have a few new subscribers and I just want to say welcome. I am so excited that you joined my YouTube family, and I'm excited to share content with you and get to know you in the comment section of these videos. For anyone new, my name is Alyssa and I'm married to my husband Mac. He's a firefighter and we live in the Pacific Northwest, so it's very cold, wet, and rainy this time of year. We've got two little boys, ages 4 and 5, and they are definitely very energetic, happy, active little boys, so it's all we can do to keep up with them. I am a stay-at-home mom right now and I just love everything cleaning, organizing. I'm somewhat minimalistic with my house. I don't know if you can tell in some of my previous videos, but I started kind of keeping my life decluttered and organized a few years ago once I started having kids. And I think when you have kids, you just realize how much stuff you can accumulate pretty fast. My life, I never was into decluttering or, living this type of lifestyle until I had kids. And then it kind of, life gets crazy once you have babies and all the toys and the baby items. So my house just feels so much better when I can keep it organized, and decluttering for me is a way to do that. When I went into this video, I actually told myself I don't know what all I'll be able to declutter, because I'm pretty sure there's only a couple things in the kitchen that, we don't use. And it's funny, once you start an area, you just get on a roll and you notice there's actually a lot more hidden in cabinets that you just haven't seen in a while. So I ended up actually filling up the tote, not fully, but it's definitely got pretty full by the end of this video. This here is my baking cabinet. We used to keep it down below and it just wasn't working for our family. Whenever we wanted to bake, we'd have to have the kids move their stool or their chairs so that we could get to all the baking stuff. So just recently, I moved all of our baking stuff up to this upper cabinet, and it has been working so much better for us. This cabinet is definitely used a lot. That's why you'll see me wiping down every single container. There's a lot of food and grease on these, so I'm not the only one who cooks in this family. In fact, my husband Mac loves cooking, and he's gotten into baking recently, so that's been a lot of fun to watch. And my boys have watched their dad and me bake, and they're definitely so excited to be a part of everything in the kitchen. They will pull a stool or chair up and want to help every time we're in here. So it's been a lot of fun, and as they get older, them helping in the kitchen is getting easier. So that's definitely a plus. However, the more help they have been giving us, the messier the kitchen has gotten lately. So that's why all these containers are definitely a little on the sticky side, and there's definitely some more crumbs and things in the cabinets because we've got little hands in them now. You'll see in this video that a lot of things in the kitchen are not properly labeled. Some of them even have the wrong labels on them, and that is because everything was labeled in our old house. We had everything kind of labeled, we had a system going, but we've only lived in this house for a little over a year now, and we've just been kind of seeing what works in this house before I went in and labeled things. And I'm glad we did that because I've definitely moved some things around, changed the containers that things are in. So we are finally at the point where I think I'm ready to go in with my Cricut Joy and just start labeling. So I'm hoping to add that in a video for you guys in the future. But I'm definitely ready to get some labels on things. My oldest son is starting to read, and I just think it helps everyone in the family to know where things go and how to put things back. This cabinet here holds a lot of our main dishes, plates, bowls, and then I've got a bunch of canning jars that, we don't use that often, but we do use them. And so I'm just moving them onto a higher shelf because if anyone's going to grab for them, it's going to be Mac. And he uses them for a lot of sauces, or he mixes his own spices and rubs. So he likes to grab these, and it just doesn't make sense for them to be on a shelf that I can reach. So I'm just moving them a little higher. We had some fancy china dishes that we were given from my mom, and I didn't want to get rid of them, but they were kind of taking up space in a cabinet we get into quite often. So I ended up moving them over to a different cabinet, and you'll see that later in this video. I don't know if you can tell, but we definitely need some more dishes. And, we do use all of these dishes, but a lot of our bowls and stuff in here, other than the plastic ones on the bottom shelf, we actually still have those from my husband's and our college days. They were actually left over from roommates who didn't want them, or they were miscellaneous, mismatched plates. So you can tell some of them are chipping, and I'm definitely ready to get some new plates here and maybe a few more bowls because we just have 4 of those small ones. So hopefully that'll happen one day, but we just take things slow. We buy things as we need them, and it's so hard to get rid of dishes that have been working for a long time. This is one of the cabinets that has the highest traffic in our house. It's not one of those cabinets I can only deep clean twice a year. I am in here quite often wiping things down, and that is because we keep our butter, our oils, peanut butter, salt, pepper. We've got all of our spices and breads in here, and then on the top shelf is a lot of our go-to dinner items. We've got our pasta noodles, our rice, and lots of cans of tomatoes. So it's just all of those items that breakfast, lunch, and dinner we end up needing. So that's why you'll see me wiping a lot more things down in this cabinet than others. These trays here are amazing. I think I got them from Walmart, and they're just great to have. You can spin them and see all of your different oils and your salt, pepper, butter. We love them, but they are covered in oil, so you can't see it very well on this camera, but they were definitely very greasy. I will definitely be linking as much as I can, but some items I did get so long ago that I either don't remember where they came from, or, I got them from a store that I can't link. So I will try to link as many things as I can, and, you'll be able to find them in the description box. One of my favorite organization tools in my kitchen is actually my organization for my spices. And I found those on Amazon because I really wanted that beautiful spice drawer, the one where you can lay all of your spices down and see the labels, and the drawer looks so beautiful when you open it up. But this house, it just wasn't realistic to take up an entire drawer for spices. The drawers are huge, and we didn't have enough space for all of our kitchen utensils. And so I didn't have an extra drawer handy that I could do spices in. And so I ended up having to put them inside of the cabinet, and it works great for us. They're these little rolling black shelves, and you screw them into the shelf of your cabinet. They work awesome. I'd never have any problems with them not rolling. They don't catch, and all of your spices are perfectly able to fit in there. So I love them a lot. And then I did get some glass jars for spices, not because of the aesthetic, although that is a plus, but my husband does a lot of his shopping for spices at a place that kind of has bulk spices. So when you buy them, they don't come in jars. You end up getting bags of spices. And so we needed jars to put spices into. And so that's why you'll see a lot of my spice jars without labels, and they're all matching. It's because we don't buy most of our spices in a jar already. I did try out those risers. I know if you've watched organization videos in the past that you've seen them. A lot of people use them in their pantry for cans, and then they also use them in some cabinets for their spices. They're just these little plastic risers that you can put cans and spices on to raise the ones in the back so that you can see them a little bit better. I love them. I bought them. I like the idea of using them, but what I ended up finding was either there was so much wasted space. I mean, with the riser underneath, and then you have to leave room above whatever you're storing so that you can reach in the back and get them. I just found that there was so much wasted space that it wasn't that helpful. And then also when Mac would reach for things, he would end up knocking over some of the smaller jars in the front in order to get to stuff in the back. So I just never really liked them. You won't see any of those in my pantry or my cabinets because I truly did not find them all that useful. I love these spice organizers so much more, and they roll in and out. There's different sizes, and I've truly never had any problems using them. It also works great for Mac. He loves being able to roll it out and then see all of the spices in the jars. I do have to go in and label the spices because it is kind of hard to tell some spices from the others, but after I label them, they will be great. These things actually do come with their own labels, so if you don't want to make your own labels, there's that part on the front that you can actually stick a bunch of little labels on to say what is in each one, and it's great. They are actually chalk, so you can write your own. But yeah, if you are trying to store your spices in a cabinet and they're taking up so much space and you can't see everything, I would really give these a try. Another fun hack for anybody who has kids of their own, or they just have nieces and nephews, or kids who give them artwork. If you want a place to hang your artwork, the inside of your cabinet doors are amazing places for that. I used to have them hung on the fridge with magnets, but our fridge gets so dirty, and I think between the yogurt and the oils and just a lot of tomato sauce, honestly, pictures don't last very long on the fridge. So I find that if I tape them to the inside of the cabinet doors, it protects them, and every time I open the cabinet doors, I kind of smile because it's like a reminder of the kid who gave it to me. So earlier in this video, you saw that there was some artwork hanging on the inside of the cabinet doors in other places as well. And that's because I get a lot of pictures given to me from nieces and nephews. I love receiving artwork from people, and I love that I get to hang them up and see them every day without them getting ruined or dirty. This is just a great method for anyone who's been struggling to display artwork, and I really love it. I use this for anything that was specifically given to me or my husband. So if somebody says, "Here, I made this for you," that's when I would hang it up inside of the cabinet doors because it's like a gift that was given to us, and I want to show that I appreciate it. So I have another spot in the house that I just hang up my kids' artwork. It's up in their playroom and bedroom. I actually just clip all of their artwork onto clothespins on a string. So we actually have artwork all over the house, but the pictures on the inside of the cabinet doors were things that were specifically given to me or Mac. This cabinet didn't need a whole lot of decluttering or cleaning. I actually went through it not that long ago because I was trying to make room for some hot chocolate and marshmallows and all of those holiday drinks that, we use quite a bit. So that's why I didn't really do much in that cabinet. It was already pretty clean, and I actually do use a majority, if not all of those serving glasses. Maybe not regularly, but we do like to host, and it's a lot of fun for us, and it is fun to have the proper glasses for each type of drink out there. So, that's why we have all of those different options. It may seem a little bit like overkill, but we do use everything in that cabinet, or I would get rid of it. Here I just moved on to cleaning the upper parts of my cabinets. This is the top of my cabinets, and they just get so gross so fast. I know there's a hack where you can kind of put parchment paper or, aluminum foil up here, and it collects all the dust and grime for you. And, I might do that one day. I just haven't gotten around to it, and I really don't find, I do it twice a year, and I really don't find it to be that much work. So, I really should just use that hack and do it, but one of these days I'll make the time for that. I didn't film me cleaning all of above the cabinets, and that's because there were some areas I just couldn't reach, and I needed to wait until I could get the ladder down from the garage so that I could get back there. I wanted to clean above all the cabinets now just because I like to put Christmas garlands up there, and I'm almost ready to decorate for Christmas. This was one of my last videos that I needed to get done before decorating for the holidays, and it just feels so good to clean your kitchen and your living spaces before the holidays. We do so much baking this time of year that, when you're in a cleaner space, it just makes the holidays less stressful. I don't know if you've seen those organizers for Ziploc bags and, saran wrap and all of that have been coming out. They've been very popular, it seems, online. And they're so cool. They look so nice in your drawers. But, one day maybe I'll get those and test them out for you guys. But I just wasn't ready in this video. So they really do look awesome. And it looks like everything fits and your boxes don't get crushed that the bags are in. So I'm really hoping to test those out for you guys one day. Just not quite ready yet. If you guys were looking for a way to store your knives inside of a drawer, I would truly test these out. These are plastic containers, and the reason I did plastic over some bamboo ones is because they're so easy to clean. All of these cracks and crevices, you can just soak them in water, and then you can just scrub them down with soap every once in a while, and they're just really easy to maintain. All of our knives fit very nicely in here, and I got 2 of them off of Amazon, so they'll be in the description box below if you're wondering. I did have a knife storage system that was up on the counter for a while, and it was great, but we keep the knives near the stove just because that's where we use them the most. And there are a lot of oil splatters and stuff that happens above the counters, so I like to keep as much as I can off of the countertop. And I find that knife blocks are a little hard to clean, so I do like to keep knives inside of the drawers, not on top of the counters. going to clean off this area over here before I start on the cabinets below, and I just wanted a place that I could set things that was clean, so I'm just going to get this area in order. We're definitely coffee lovers. Let me know in the comment section what type of drink is your favorite. We also drink a nice cup of tea at night to relax. We like hot chocolate. We really just love all beverages. We like a LaCroix every once in a while, and you know, having a beverage for me is just so nice. I get to look forward to it all day long, and I am that type of person who will sit there and sip on one drink for like 2 hours. And it's funny because my husband will be drinking a coffee right next to me, and he'll drink his within 20 minutes, and I will sip on the exact same beverage, especially if it's iced. If I have an iced beverage, I will honestly drink it for hours. So let me know what your guys' favorite beverages are in the comments. I have been trying to cut back on my caffeine. I've been noticing as I've gotten older that I haven't been able to handle caffeine the same way I used to. And I just find that it makes me anxious, and I definitely get a little jittery and uncomfortable if I drink too much coffee. So I limit myself to 1 cup in the morning of black coffee. And then what I've been finding is I just do a half and half of decaf and regular coffee later in the day. So I have about 2 cups of coffee every day, and I think it's been working great for me. It's helped with a lot of my problems, and caffeine can be kind of dangerous. It's easy to overdo it and then realize you overdid it a little too late. So I'm just trying to be aware of that. And I used to start a pot of coffee in the morning, and it would be so tempting to just keep pouring coffee out of that pot all day long. And I definitely ended up having way too much caffeine and having some health issues. It kind of disrupted some of my hormones. So I am trying to be better about that. That's why you'll see we actually traded out our coffee pot for an espresso machine. And if we want a black cup of coffee, we use what's called an AeroPress. And it's just a way to make half a cup of coffee at a time. And it really limits the amount of coffee I drink. I found that when I had the coffee pot and I would just start it in the morning, pouring yourself a cup of coffee was just so easy. There was no prep time, no work to it after that first work in the morning. So now that I actually have to take the time to grind my coffee and make it with an AeroPress, and it just takes a little bit more time, I find that I don't do it as often. So that's been really helping. And then just the espresso machine, I can't just drink espresso shots straight. So, if I make myself an espresso drink in the afternoon as a little pick-me-up, I'm just ending up with so much less caffeine throughout my day. So if you guys are struggling with too much coffee, I would suggest just putting your coffee pot away and looking for ways to make only half a cup to a cup of coffee so that it's not too easy for you to get and it's too accessible. Real quick in this cabinet, the lid organizers that you see in that cabinet were from Amazon. It was a 2-pack. They were actually meant to screw onto your doors of your cabinets, and they're amazing. I love them so much. We used them in our old house, and they were actually screwed onto our doors. In this house, I just found that there was so much room in the cabinets that I could screw them directly into the cabinet itself. And so we just put all of our lids on there. I've seen some other organizers that seem to work for people, but these work for us, and we keep all of our lids just nicely stored on the side. They're very accessible. So if you guys were looking for a nice way to store lids and weren't scared of screwing some things in permanently, these are amazing. In case you were wondering, the clear bins with the handles on the upper shelf are the same ones in my baking cabinet and in my pantry. I actually use them all over my house. I love them. I got them, I think it was a pack of 6 on Amazon, so those will be in the description box. The 2 white bins down below, those are actually from Target. I use them all over my house as well, and I love them for toy storage or anything loose that you just want to contain. So they're really great. Inside of them, I actually just keep all of my son's lunch stuff for school. So I've got small containers, little bottles for milk or juice that he can take to school. And then in the other one, I just keep all of the lunch boxes. So it works great. I used to try to keep them in the cabinet and they were always falling all over the place. So I found that baskets were definitely the way to go for things that you use daily and just want to throw in there. We've now moved on to my craft area. This is where my kids get all of their craft stuff. It's underneath where I keep all of my coffee stuff, so in that beverage area of my kitchen. And my kids are in here probably 20 times a day. This is one of the most used cabinets in our home. It is definitely a lot of fun to watch them. They are very into art and Play-Doh and kinetic sand. They just love working with their hands. And yes, as a mom, I'm just definitely not always excited to let them into this cabinet, but I do just love what they create and I love watching their excitement. So it's kind of one of those sacrifices, I love to have it on hand and let them have the ability to go in here whenever they want. So I definitely don't limit their arts and crafts in any way or their kinetic sand or Play-Doh. So my house definitely gets a little trashed pretty quick. This here is what I call their invention box. That's why you just see a bunch of miscellaneous stuff in here. Whenever I'm going around the house or doing anything and I have extra of anything, I just throw it in this bin. Anything at all that looks interesting, I throw in this bin, and then they know that if they ever want to invent anything, they can just pick up this bin and make anything they'd like. So it's really fun to watch what they create. I'd just like to say for anyone who heard me say that I don't limit my kids' arts or Play-Doh or kinetic sand, I want to tell you that there is a time and a place for limiting things, and I hope you know that I'm not judging anyone for, limiting their kids' arts and crafts. I definitely was not always okay with them coming into their arts and crafts. We had a child lock on it when they were babies and toddlers, and so I definitely understand there's different ages, there's different stages of life. We right now are in the stage of life that my kids are old enough to come in here. They know not to color on things they shouldn't. They know not to leave the caps off of Play-Doh. They don't purposefully throw sand on the floor. And so we have finally reached that age where they do have full access to these things and it works for our family. They definitely still make a mess and it is definitely a little frustrating sometimes to clean up, but they are getting so much better with being careful and cleaning up what they make. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys know that I used to restrict art stuff and there is no judgment at all if that's what you need in your household. So I also have 2 boys who are only a year apart, so they are all into the same exact things and they are honestly at the same point in their life. So if you have a large age gap with your kids, I understand you might have to limit what is available to your kids. So I hope you know that, I didn't mean anything by that comment. Kind of talking about the same type of thing, but if you guys are ever watching what I'm getting done in my house or watching my videos and going, oh my gosh, I can't get that done, or her house is, clean or organized, and, you're at all feeling down about yourself, please don't. I hope you understand that I am a stay-at-home mom. I am at this point in my life where my kids are older, 4 and 5, and they are getting to the point where they're so independent. They're only a year apart, and so we actually are blessed that they play so nice together. They're into all the same toys, all the same activities. And so, my sons play all together and I actually do have a decent amount of time on my hands these days. It wasn't always the case. When my kids were younger, it was a lot more work for me. I was constantly running around chasing them and, it was just a struggle to get some deep cleaning done at all. I just have reached this this point the past year or two, basically when my youngest turned 3. Every single month, it just seemed to get easier and easier for me. And so if you guys are ever feeling down about how much you've accomplished, just know that everybody's lives look a little different. And if you're struggling right now, it does get better. And I never want you to feel like you have to live up to, my house. And, I've been organizing, decluttering, and cleaning for many, many years, and my house did not always look like this. So I hope you guys know that, and know that, you don't have to compare yourself to what I have. And I know I'm blessed with what I have, and I never want you to feel like you aren't doing enough. These clear organizers that I'm going through right now are amazing. I also got those on Amazon. I tend to get a lot of things from Amazon because I like that I can search for what I need, do research, and then have it delivered. When I go into a store, I end up spending way too much money, and it's just easier to buy what I need online so that I actually end up spending less, surprisingly. These containers are great. They've got little compartments in them. They fit coloring books, and they're so nice to have. So those will also be in the description box if you guys are interested. This bin here is what I use for their kind of like homework school bin. I keep just paper and some pencils, glue, anything that they might need for, simple activities or homework projects. So that's what you'll see in here. There's also some stencils that I end up putting back in here. And I didn't do it in this video, but I actually took some of their old school activity books like pre-K and kindergarten sheets and just ripping them out of the books that they came in and throwing them in here so that if they're feeling motivated or want to do a little extra work when they're home, they can just pull this bin out and then get to work. And, it's been a lot of fun. We, used it last night and it worked great. The boys were so motivated to get some extra activity papers done. And, if I ever see anything cool online, I can print it off in our printer and put it in their activity little container there. So if you guys were looking for another idea to motivate your kids to do some extra learning projects, that was just great for our family. Here we just wrapped up most of the decluttering in today's video. There's a few drawers left and I'm just going to go through them now. This drawer here holds all of the extra artwork and school stuff that comes home. They just have so much stuff all the time and they're constantly creating more. I like to just keep this drawer in here for anything that's just laying around the house. I throw it in this drawer and then I can go through it at a later date and figure out what needs to be hung up and shown to everybody and what needs to go in a bin. So I have 2 filing bins that I keep for both of my kids, and I like to put them up high in a shelf and bring them down a few times a year. I just go through all their artwork and anything that looks nice that I think is a great memory and they might want to save, I put in their bin for them. So that's kind of what I do. I have this drawer, I call it my art junk drawer, and I just throw everything I find in it. Then I go through it and I pick some things that are great that I want to hang up in their playroom and their bedroom on display. And then after it's done being hung up, or maybe it's time to change out the artwork that's being displayed, I will pack it away in their filing container. So that's just how I handle all of the papers because I'm not motivated enough to go through their artwork multiple times in a month. So I like to just fill up this drawer before I do it. So that's why. I pulled these 3 drawers out just so that you could get a look for what's in there. I didn't end up organizing them because I actually did another deep clean of my kitchen video not too long ago. It's where I washed all of the exterior parts of my cabinets. So if you're looking for more motivation, be sure to check that one out. But in that video, I actually did tackle those 3 drawers just because they were kind of problem drawers and driving me crazy. So if you want to see me organize those 3 drawers and see some more deep cleaning of the kitchen, go back and look at that video. Here is the last cabinet in my kitchen that we're taking care of today. This is under my kitchen sink, and it's probably one of the dirtiest cabinets here in my kitchen. I definitely keep a lot of stuff under here, and I notice it accumulates stuff pretty fast. So whenever I'm doing a project or get something to clean an area, I just kind of toss it under here. So today's the day that I'm going to go through it and straighten everything up and declutter, or move it to the spot that it actually goes in. These containers here are amazing. They're just like sliding clear drawers. I got them about 4 years ago, and they have held up amazing. One of them did crack a little bit, but that was kind of my own fault. I dropped it when I was moving. So these are great. They'll be in the description box. And I'm just going to continue going through everything in this cabinet. We keep a lot of brushes and stuff that I grab every single day to clean. So I am going to be finding a few things like Goo Gone that I get under special circumstances, and I do not need it in this cabinet. It doesn't belong in the kitchen. I don't use it every day. And so those things are going to get carried upstairs into my laundry room. I'm going to be putting it in one of my miscellaneous bins in my laundry room. If you guys want to see how I organize my laundry room, be sure to check out my laundry video. I did a deep cleaning video on my laundry room not that long ago, so I will link both my first part 1 of kitchen deep cleaning and my laundry room refresh in the description box for you guys. Here you can see the bin. It actually got a lot more full than I thought. I was not prepared to declutter that many items, so I'm pretty happy with that. And the kitchen already feels so much better. I'm just going to take out the trash and then do a little bit of cleaning. Now that I've done all of this decluttering, I just want to feel like my kitchen's clean. So you'll see me wipe down counters, do a little vacuuming, and I want to be able to appreciate all of my work. If you've made it this far in the video, I just want to say how grateful I am and how happy I am that you chose my video. There are so many creators out there, and they are amazing. And I just am so thankful that you chose to watch and you continued watching. If you want to see more videos, I'd love it if you'd like and subscribe. They really help out my channel, and I would love to get to know you in the comments. So if you want to, message me anything or talk about your day, feel free. It really brings me a lot of joy to see you guys comment on my videos. I am so close to being ready to pull out my Christmas decor, and I am so excited. So is the rest of my family. My kids have already gotten into one of the Christmas bins and are playing with some of their decor pieces. They're like little stuffed animals that I put in their playroom. I am excited to decorate for Christmas. I have one more deep cleaning video that I want to get to before I pull out all the Christmas stuff. So that should be in Tuesday's video if you want to come back Tuesday morning for some midweek motivation. I am going to be getting my wet vac out and cleaning my area rug. I'm going to be cleaning my couches, really just doing a deep clean in the whole living room area. There will be some more decluttering. I have some cabinets that I need to take a look at. But I'd love it if you come back Tuesday and watch that video. Next weekend, I am going to be starting my Christmas decor, and I think part 1 will be coming out over the weekend and then maybe another one on Tuesday morning. So please come back if you want to see some more Christmas decorating and get some more motivation. Here I'm just finishing up some vacuuming, trying to get all the crumbs that, fall to the floor when you're cleaning your room top to bottom. And I'm just going to go around real quick around my dining room table and my kitchen area. I'm not going to do the whole house just because, honestly, while I've been cleaning this area of the house, the rest of my house is being neglected. And honestly, I could do a whole nother video on the whole rest of my house right now, and I definitely don't have the time for that. So the rest of the house is going to stay a mess, and I'm just going to be happy with what I accomplished today. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so thankful you spent your time with me, and I hope you have a great weekend.